You don't need a gun. You can call the police and 911 and they're going to show up and save your life. You've heard that one before. We know that's absurd. We have lots of examples. I've got a crazy example to reaffirm the point that when seconds count, police are minutes away. Wait till you hear this crazy story in 1 second. Hey folks, I'm Mark Smith, host of the Four Boxes Diner, proud American gun owner, constitutional attorney, member of the United States Supreme Court Bar, and New York Times best-selling author. If you have not subscribed to the Four Boxes Diner Second Amendment channel, please do so and show your love for the right to keep and to bear arms in America. All right, folks, we've heard about this Paul Pelosi. Not going to get into the specifics of what happened or what did not happen. That's not what's interesting here. What is interesting here is the following. You know the old argument that says that you don't need a gun because police are minutes away, or you can call 911, you can call the cops and they'll come save your life. We all know that's absurd. We have lots of examples of this, everything from the Uvalde school shooting to on and on and on, where when you call 911 or police, they're just not going to be there except often just to draw a chalk line around your body, which is not really the plan. We don't need police to investigate crimes. We'd rather stop them beforehand and make sure that you're not hurt or killed for that matter. Now, here's the crazy story involving Paul Pelosi. Did you know that there was a live, I repeat, a live camera feed focused on the Pelosi's home in San Francisco? And who was monitoring this live feed? It was the United States Capitol Police, federal law enforcement. That's right. Now you think about what you've got in your homes or your apartments. Paul Pelosi had literally the United States federal law enforcement agency watching his home 24 hours a day, 7 days a week with a live camera feed, staring at the home to see if there was a problem. Nevertheless, despite all this, Paul Pelosi managed to get, unfortunately hit in the head with a hammer by some psychopathic criminal and had to go to the hospital and apparently had to undergo brain surgery because of getting hit in the head with a hammer. Again, the goal, of course, is to stop being hit in the head with a hammer before it occurs. You want to stop the crime before it occurs. And often the best way to do that is for you, the potential crime victim, to use a firearm to either brandish to get the guy to run away, or if need be, to open fire and stop him from killing you. Now, with respect to this Paul Pelosi story, this is the source. I am reading from the Washington Post. They said that, guess what? Inside the command center of the U.S. Capitol Police, the live feeds that they were watching showed, ready for this? This is the amazing part. They noticed that there were police lights. This is quoting from the Washington Post. There were, quote, police lights flashing outside the home of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Think about what they just said. You have a live feed with the U.S. Capitol Police, the federal law enforcement agency, literally watching the House on a live feed 24/7, and they don't notice there's a problem in the Pelosi home. And I can assure you that the Speaker of the House's home has far more protection than anything we could afford or we've got, right? No federal law enforcement agency is watching my house or anything I do, at least not for the purposes of saving my life. So here you go. The Washington Post reports that the first time, despite having a 24/7 live feed on the Pelosi home in San Francisco, the first time anybody in federal law enforcement noticed a problem was, quote, when police lights were flashing outside the home of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, close quote. The point is that by the time the people watching the live feed in the U.S. Capitol Police Department noticed an issue in Nancy Pelosi's home was when other police officers, presumably from the San Francisco Police Department, had already showed up to address the issue. Here's the fundamental point about this story. This is a critical fact. So next time somebody says, just call 911, the police will be there, just point out this key fact, that even with 24/7 live feed monitoring by a federal law enforcement agency, the home of Nancy Pelosi's was attacked by a psychopath wielding a hammer that was able to hit Nancy Pelosi's husband in the head with it, sending him into brain trauma and brain surgery. Hopefully he will recover fully, of course. So the point is, if Nancy Pelosi and her home with 24/7 live security feed to a federal law enforcement agency, if they can't protect Nancy Pelosi and her family in the actual home that's being monitored, then do we really think that police are going to be able to protect us or any ordinary civilian? Heck no. No chance in hell. Not going to happen. Which is why we need to be our own first responders and protect our own lives, because we don't have the benefits of 24/7 live security feeds from federal law enforcement checking out to make sure we're safe. And it turns out, based on this Pelosi story, even if we had that, the police still wouldn't be able to get there in time, because the U.S. Capitol Police didn't even realize there was a problem until the local police officers had already responded and were already outside the Pelosi home responding to this incident with their bubbles flashing before the U.S. Capitol Police noticed there was even an issue. So again, another example of we cannot trust anybody but ourselves. An armed citizen is the greatest defense against tyranny in all forms, including tyranny from criminals and gang members, psychopaths and terrorists and the like. Because if Nancy Pelosi's home and her family cannot depend on U.S. Capitol Police, well, we're not going to be able to depend upon our local police either. But we knew this, but this is another powerful example that you can use in your op-eds, in your discussions, and in your points you make to friendly legislators or anybody else out there that you talk to about the importance of the right to keep and bear arms in America. Okay, hope you learned a little bit something here today at the Four Boxes Diner. If you haven't subscribed, please do so, and we'll see you again soon here at the Four Boxes Diner.
Orders up. Table 2A.